I was gonna ask you. I've been doing for the last couple of years. I've been doing a one-man show about my childhood. Yeah, and it was kind of like my version of Undisputed Truth, which is the Mike Tyson play.
Oh, nice.
So it's called Stick with the Dancing. So it's called Stick with the Dancing because that's what my mom said to me after she saw me perform for the first time.
That's hilarious.
So because I performed,
why don't you come out and do a weekend? Want to do a weekend? At the
that's
club?
why I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah,
do you have
let's do it.
screens on screens?
Yes. Yeah, we have screens.
On the bigger room.
Yes.
Okay,
in both
cool.
rooms. Yeah.
So if I perform, there's things.
Yeah, we have a projector in the ceiling, and
it comes
the sound
down?
guy can.
Oh, great. Yeah, I want to do that.
It'll take like a little extra coordination with whoever's doing it, so they know what the files are, and you can go over them with them. But I'm sure we could do it. Yeah, it's set up for that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool show, and
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's fun,
dude. You got babysitted by Sam Kinison. It's one of the funniest fucking stories of all time. Like, what a crazy thing your mom did.
It was.
She left you as a little child as one of the most maniacal comedians that's ever existed.
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't exactly like that. It was more. It was more like Sam was. I was 14 years old. I was a short order cook at the Comedy Store in Westwood. My mom would put Sam on last because all he would do is scream. And then he would literally, there'd be 6 people left in the room in Westwood, and he'd throw the stools. He'd throw his stool at the audience members. They'd scamper off. He'd smoke weed in the parking lot, and then he would, I'd feed him hamburgers. So I kind of I was always taking care of comedians.
What year was this?
This was probably 84, 85. I was in high school.
He really hit in 86.
Yes.
And he really hit.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
did I ever tell you my story how I found out about him?
It's probably Boston with Parento or something.
No, a girl that I worked with at the Boston Athletic Club. Still to this day, I can't remember her fucking name. She was really cool, though. She was this big volleyball player girl, like just big athletic girl. And she goes to me, she goes, "Have you seen Sam Kinison? Sam Kinison, whatever his name was?" I go, "No, I haven't." And so she acts out in the parking lot the whole bit about him like
Ethiopia
being
or something.
No, the
homosexual
necrophiliacs having sex with
God.
Yeah. She acted it out in the parking lot. She's like, oh, life keeps fucking you in the ass even after you're dead. It never ends. Me laughing at her acting it out in the parking lot made me go get the VHS tape. So I got a VHS tape of his HBO special, and I was like, holy shit. So I found out about it from a girl acting out the bit. She's on her stomach in the parking lot going, oh, feels like something's in my ass.
I know, you can't believe it. That angle was genius.
It's such a
fucking genius,
hilarious bit.
Genius point of view. That night was 1987, and that was at the Roxy on Sunset, and my mom had an after party for him at the house.
Wow.
At the Doheny house. So that night afterwards, Sam came to the house with everyone, and I was so excited because I wanted to show him my saltwater fish tank. Because as a kid, I had a saltwater fish tank, and I brought him up to my room, and I said, "Sam, look at my tank," and he wasn't impressed at all. He's like, but he told me to take the top off the saltwater fish tank. It was a big black top, and I took it down. He dumped all this Coke on it. And he started chopping up lines, and he says, "Have fun." And me and my friend Dave, we snorted Sam's Coke that night.
Oh, my God.
And I felt like so cool. I felt like, no, for real. I was like,
of course.
Fuck this guy. And then I just followed him around.
Wow.
So as far as him babysitting me, it was no.
So that was just the way everyone described it.
Yeah, I mean, Lois Bromfield babysitted me, Jackson Purdue babysat me.
So you were
Mike Binder, Argus Hamilton, all those guys. Yeah.
So you were essentially just like his young protege.
Yeah, I would fall. It was like the Michael Jordan commercial. Like the kid wanted to be like Mike. I want to be like Sam.
Right.
So
look at you.
Yeah. So
what year is that?
I was probably 11.
Wow.
I was probably 11.
What a fucking crazy place to grow up.
Yeah, back then.
Oh my God.
Yeah, back then.
There's
so many stories, dude. I mean, I'm there now, and it's great. Obviously, it's the store. But when Mom was there, it was just like you never know what the fuck was going to happen. You never knew who was going to pull in the fucking lot.
Right.
You never knew who was going to come up. It was just like it was like someone shooting guns.
Yeah.
Not literally, but just as far as the energy. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, Eddie Murphy used to show up with like 6 Rolls Royces. Like for real, dude. And then Richard would show up, and and all these guys would just roll. And this is around when you got there. It was kind of towards, right? You got there 94. 94.
That was probably before when I got there.
Yeah, I saw the calendar you had from my mom where she put your name. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. So, so that was that time. You know, I'm really proud of his Argus.
Look at this right here.
Argus, yeah.
What is that? What year is that?
That was last year. No, I'm just kidding.
Pauly Shore bringing up Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
When did Eddie retire? So he retired in what year? He stopped doing stand-up when?
I don't know. It was a while. I was at his house probably 5 years ago, and I was just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're the best, dude. Like, let's go.
He's like literally the best.
I think he should come out here and do it. He'd be great at, because you put the phones in the pouches.
Well, he could do that anywhere if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I think the hard part would be like doing it, just getting going. I think if he did it once, then he'd want to do it all the time. You know, but it's like you get locked up in that movie world.
But he's also encased in his house. That's the same thing with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, he would be great on this show.
I'd love to have him on.
Okay, Dre, what's up? I'm going to put you on a show. So we could text him right now. So I've known Dre. When my mom died, he was one of like the 2 or 3 people that really reached out to me because he knew how close I was with my mom. Yeah, he sent me flowers. It was really beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was great.
That's very cool.
And but I went to his house. You know, these guys are so big and so wealthy. They enclose themselves.
Right.
So I saw him I reconnected with him at Dave Chappelle's show at the Hollywood Bowl, and he's like, "Yo, hit me up." Da 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 da. I hit him up. I go to his house, and it's like fucking El Chapo, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like he's I don't want to reveal all the shit, but it's like, you know, it's pretty heavy, but I go in there, he's the same fucking guy that he was, 20, 30 years ago.
Of course. Most people are. They do deteriorate psychologically though in isolation.
Yeah, he says, "Yo, man, you want to see me? You come here." So it was pretty cool.
That's also a nice thing about having this club, that I'm hanging around with comics all the time, you know. And it's just, you're not isolated. You're out there, and as a comic, one of the things that does happen when you tour, we're talking about, you bring an opening act, you maybe hang out with them, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole weekend. It's kind of isolating. And if you're not with that person, then you go and you use like local opening acts. I mean, maybe it's great and you meet a great friend. That's how I met Segura. Or maybe it's terrible and you have a shitty weekend with people you don't like.